We're all gonna die a lot sooner than I'd planned.
When they came up here to our land and put up a big wall and said it was theirs, then they started hunting us down. But this time, we're the ones doing the hunting.
Nothing makes the past a sweeter place to visit than the prospect of imminent death.
I am a man of the Night's Watch, Gilly. I made a promise to defend the wall, and I have to keep it, because that's what men do.
This is not the end. Not for us. Not if you lot do your duty for however long it takes to beat them back. Tonight, we fight! And when the sun rises, I promise you, Sir Black will stand!
Oh, how I really...
Night's Watch will stand!
There's a giant riding mammoths down there! Do you think your cold raw steel's gonna stop them?
Right, gathers. Now my watch begins. It shall not end until my death. I shall take no
Oh,
life.
shit balls.
No lands, father, no children.
You better stick him with the pointy end.
To kill the rest of us. We won't just kill you.
Wow. That's how they're gonna end this. Wow. Pretty good.
Episode.
Give us a second. Be back. Big chillin' over here. Holy muffins. Water. Skip ahead to us talking if you just want to watch that, but I don't edit extended reactions. They go straight to you, unfiltered, unless something dumb happens, like the show stops playing or something. Wow. My Wildlings didn't make it. They still could. Jon's like 1,000 IQ. He's just, I'm going to go out there. Like, we're going to die if I don't. Like, they're going to break in eventually. If I don't go and try to negotiate, then it doesn't matter. Very good ending. Season ending. And like I said, there's like a shock battle.
I really thought that Jon killed Mance, but now that he said at the end, it wasn't. It was just one of those.
Mance is not on their side of the wall. He's with the big force on the other side. Because they put the reason they came around the wall was to break into the castle to open the gates in the castles so the army, the 100,000, could just walk through. That's the reason they brought all of those people to the outside to attack the castle from the weak side, so they could open the gates and just have them all go through. That was their plan, to distract with the big army, but then come around with the small one. Light a fire so they're all looking in one direction, then attack them when they least expected it from their side of the wall, which is what Jon Snow was doing. Like, when Jon Snow climbed the wall with Tormund and everyone, that's where they were going, to attack Castle Black.
So many points in this.
Yeah, there's a lot.
The leader questioning him himself, saying it's not good, putting him in charge. Oh, just...
Yeah, quite a few leadership passed. First it was Alistair, then it was Thorne? No,
it was
Alistair
else.
Thorne is the same person. Remember that coward's name that went to hide in the goddamn food cupboard? I don't remember his name, and I don't care. That guy was like, couldn't do it, left. Jon took over, and then his like second in command took over. Those two did good. And then Jon went down to help, and them keeping like a flow of people going up from down to up to down, kept that side defended for the most part. That episode felt like 5 seconds.
It was so packed.
It was packed. And that's why it felt like 5 seconds, because there was constantly stuff going on. There's a lot of like good parts with Maester Aemond and Sam, and like how Jon was like talking. Well, Sam and Jon were talking about like, how was it? Like, I'm never gonna get to experience that again, like ever in my life. I'm gonna die. Like, how was it? And Jon couldn't tell him, but then Maester Aemond almost gave him the thing that he wanted to know, with like how it felt, not in a direct way, but like an indirect way. Like how, these episodes are packed. There is so much stuff going on. There's so many plot lines. You can't beat Game of Thrones for investment in plot lines. With other things, there's sometimes you just don't care about what is happening with certain groups of characters or whatever. Like, it gets boring. But this does not. Like, everything is... Like, when I started off, I had a favorite. Tyrion was my favorite, and like I liked all his scenes and stuff, but every scene is good. Every scene is good. It's definitely surpassed the first season and these like last two. And in a weird way, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the downfall Now that the downfall of Robb Stark is over and done with, and your brain is like divorced from it for a while, the show is better without Robb. I don't know why, but just because the lines of like good and bad people are so merged at this point, there really isn't like a side that I'm rooting for. I don't root for Daenerys. I don't root for the Lannisters. I don't root for, I guess I like root for individuals like Jon or Sam or Tyrion or Oberyn. But there's not like a faction. It's not anymore. It's individual, which does a lot of character development. Obviously, Sansa has huge steps in character development this season, going from scared
little girl to
what Jon from just another Night's Watch member. He was never that, but he's really stepping into leadership. And he's been tested, battle tested.
Instantly, people gave him the respect. Okay, you're right. Tell me what to do, and I'll do it. Like, no one questioned him at all.
And it's going to be harder now that Pip and Gren died in last episode. Not to be forgotten in all of this. His rock, Sam, Gren, and Pip were the ones that prevented him from leaving in the first season after he took his vows. And two of the three are dead. He's losing his hardcore, if you were to say officer base, if you were to say they're officers of his leadership pillar. But
I see what you mean.
I think he's gained enough respect to be able to lead the Night's Watch at this point, become the leader of the Night's Watch. I don't know what.
Sorry, even the guy up there when he said he needed to come down, pretty much indirectly said that he would be the Night's Watch. Sir something Thorne. Yes, that's what I got from it.
I don't know what happened to Thorne. That's what I was just going to say. I don't know if he died from his wounds. They didn't really say what happened to him. And seeing how Jon's making his own decisions about to go out to talk to Mance and all that stuff leads me to believe that Alistair Thorne died after he got stabbed by Tormund. And then we lost Ygritte too.
Oh, man.
The death counter in this season has been high. This is going to be an interesting map.
Her precision just go from 1 to 1 to 1. Skip 1. My gosh. She locks on and that's just it. Boom, done. But stopped at Jonkus. The way he looked at her, he just...
I'm planning on doing map breakdowns at the end of each season now when I do the YouTube, when YouTube gets to it. So you'll get those map breakdown videos when this season finale hits YouTube. You'll probably get them early, like a couple weeks early. For Patreon, I'll upload them. Yeah, the map is going to be done there. And I'll calculate like all the deaths, go through each episode and what I think it... And the reason I like doing the map breakdowns after I've seen some more of the show too, is I have a little more time to think about it. I have a little more context about the season prior and can kind of form, because before I'm ahead in the show on Patreon. And then I have to go back and do episode per episode of the map breakdown like I was doing and predict. But I'm already watching. I already know the future.
Yeah.
So I'm changing how I do the map breakdowns into a retrospect of my complete thoughts.
It makes sense.
And link it up with a visual of the map, the characters on the map, how I went from episode to episode and how I thought things were going to go and how they actually went. So it's going to be like more of a longer thing, probably an hour on YouTube, probably 3 hours on a Patreon viewing. It's going to take a while, but it was insane. Yeah.
There's no one to take charge. If Alistair Thorne did die, there's no one to take charge besides
Mr. Aemon.
Yeah.
I think there's I don't know how many people, like there are so many people who died. So many men of the Night's Watch. I don't know if any of the old council people died, because there was a lot of like when Alistair Thorne is sitting in the hall, there's people next to him. Maester Aemon, another guy, and another guy. I don't know if those other council people died either, so all that's like up in the air. But I don't think now is the time either for them to be doing any deciding who's leading this thing.
Just get it done with.
Yeah.
Save at least.
Jon is doing the noble thing and going out there to potentially sacrifice himself, but trying to find a solution. What the solution is, I don't know. What he could possibly offer Mance to satisfy him, I have no clue what that could be. Yeah, we're definitely we have the lingering question of what's gonna happen with Tyrion.
Oh my gosh.
Going forwards, I don't know. I really don't. I can't guess. If this show, there's a rhyme and reason to everything. Obviously, a lot of pivotal characters die in the show, but will Tyrion die? Can he get out of it in some way? Can his brother help him in some way? Is he going to pay someone to get him out of the city? What? I don't know. Like, his father was adamant when he was killed.
Yeah.
When Oberyn was killed, that you were sentenced to death. Yeah. The battle sequence was good. I think if I were to compare it to all of the other battles so far, I like it better than the Battle of the Blackwater for sure. Well, the dynamic was better. It felt to realism, whereas the Battle of the Blackwater kind of, I had to suspend my disbelief a little bit because it seemed like foolhardy. Because when I was there watching it, I thought he still had a ton more people, but apparently like half of those people or more were from the Reach. So I was where are all his people? Wouldn't they surround the city in total and then starve it out? That's a siege. But this feels realistic. From Mance, who's not like a battle-hardened commander who knows how to siege a place, this seems realistic. His people were disorganized.
Oh, yeah.
They just threw everything at the wall and try to figure out what stuck. Nothing did. And that's expected. Like, I didn't expect them to just completely understand how to crack the wall right away. And they tried everything. They tried everything they possibly could. Attack it from two directions, climb the wall, breach the gate, eliminate the castle garrison, open the gate from behind. Nothing worked. I think Jon sees he has some leverage here where their attack failed, and Jon knows he has limited time. They're going to breach eventually. It's just, I think he has just one step ahead of Mance right now in the fact that he won the initial conflict. So he thinks he has some way of talking to him in that way to say, you tried and you failed, and we have a lot more people back there, and we're not going to give up. He can say anything and convince Mance that you're not going to win. I trust Jon in his combat ability, but I think Jon trusts the fact that he can talk his way through with Mance over he knows the fact that they will lose. But can he convince Mance that they won't lose? That they barely got touched by this?
That's the tricky part.
And if he can do that, he could probably negotiate something, which is very smart on him for realizing that. Jon Snow's, he's like coming into his own. He is definitely,
especially this last episode, yeah,
a commander. He's intelligent. He knows how to do diplomacy when he has to. He understands when to fight when he has to, and he's really good at fighting. I see him coming into commander of the Night's Watch soon, depending on if Alistair Thorne is gone or not. Lots to wrap up in this last episode and finalize, especially the fate of Tyrion. I think that's a big one, but thank you
for watching
Immersive
React.
We've arrived.
Yes.
We have. Yes, indeed. At the finale. The camera freezing.
Yes. All.
My brain went blank.
I wonder if Jon Snow's able to reach Mance. Talk to him. Because there needs to be a lot more talking than a lot more killing. A lot of understanding and coming to terms.
We've reached finale of season 4 and another season of Game of Thrones. We've been doing this for almost a year.
We have. I don't think we're summer children anymore.
Yeah, we're definitely not that. We've seen the battles. We've seen the losses. We've seen beloved characters die miserable deaths.
Yes.
And yet, we haven't seen season 4, episode 10. What is the wrap up? What could they possibly wrap up? Tyrion. What is going to happen with Tyrion? Jon. What's going to happen with Jon? Is there going to be any twists, surprises?
What's going to happen with Sansa? Or
Sansa seems fine.
What about Arya?
I have no clue. I don't know what's going to happen. Arya is a good one. Daenerys, now that she shipped Jorah away, what's going to happen there? All questions that need to be answered.
Yes.
Themes of this season, I think I'll do themes at the end. Like my interpretation of the meaning behind this whole season, what has been accomplished, what is the overarching narrative pushing us towards. We'll get to all that in the end. But for now, The Children. Very interesting title. It gives me some ideas in terms of, do they mean like the children, like Stark children? Do they mean like the children of the forest?
Oh.
Do they mean... There's a lot of children involved in this show currently that are turning from young people to old people in their own ways. Sansa in her own way, Arya in her own way. Robin Arryn in his own way. He's leaving his home. He's never left this castle his entire life, going elsewhere.
That's major for him.
Children as in Tywin's children. Tyrion, Cersei, Jaime. What's the dynamic going to be like at the end of this season? If Tyrion dies, what's the dynamic for the Lannisters going forwards? What repercussions does Tyrion's death have? I'm mentally preparing myself for that. And again, it's all almost like symbolic. Like I'll get into my theories at the end, but Children has a very symbolic tone throughout the whole show. Like the changing of the guard, children becoming the parents, not children becoming the parents, but becoming adults who are taking care of this world that their parents left when they died. Robb, the Starks, all of the Starks, different people who are taking over, like Robin Arryn, his father's dead. He's taking over. He's becoming a bigger part of his kingdom. Ramsay becoming a Bolton from a Snow. Children taking the place of their parents. The changing of the guard type of thing. So I'll talk more about that later, but for now, we're probably just going to get into the show. We want to thank you all for sticking with us.
Yes.
Throughout these like 10 months, 9 months. We're almost 7 months, something. And we go at our own pace. You guys know that by now. I have good feelings about the channel next year and what could become of it. I am like, obviously I've been not so optimistic in the past, but we'll see how it goes. And we have some movies planned. Dune. We're going to be doing The Green Mile once I edit it, because that thing is a beast to edit. It is. I've been editing it on and off for weeks. And it's just such a large file. My editing software has trouble. I split it into 4 pieces too. I'm editing it into 4 chunks and it still is struggling edit through.
I'm sure.
Just the playback and the scrubbing and all of that stuff. It's difficult. Hopefully by the new year, I'll be more regular and back on a regular basis, and we can totally just keep trucking through. And hopefully I can start doing the YouTube edits a little quicker. We'll see. It all depends. With that out of the way, without further ado, let's finish it.
Reckon.
All right. Panel. Let's open panel. And hello. Okay, switch. Thank you. I need to be talking for more than 2 seconds for it to switch scenes automatically like it does. And for all for one for all. Let's blow this popsicle stand.
Blow it up.
Start in 3, 2, 1, go. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. It helps us get recognition on our videos, and we'll react to more in the future. Thank you. Here we go.